You know how everything's a subscription now? Music, movies, even socks. I swear if
To continue this ad, please upgrade to Premium Plus Platinum.
What? No, anyway, Blue Apron...
This is a pay-per-listen ad. Please confirm your billing.
Oh, that's annoying. At least with the new Blue Apron, there's no subscription needed. Get delicious meals delivered without the weekly plan.
Wait, no subscription?
Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Welcome to episode 82 of Winging It. Free Marc Guehi. Free him up. I'm going to
free next summer, ain't he?
Exactly. It works on so many levels.
It's good.
Oh, I need this beer.
Blimey.
Sounded like you needed it. Fucking hell.
Listen, you've got the BBS to blame, constantly complaining about the volume of the pod. So we are where we are. I'm here for your eardrums. I'm drinking Wingman by Brewdog, only because it's got the very lazy slogan, "The Eagle has landed," which has been the story of this transfer window. So, or since we won the FA Cup, basically. I think the commentator even said it at the end of that. Well, I'm worried tonight, guys. I think we're going to struggle for content.
Been a very boring week, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And we've been recording for 15 minutes already. It just kept failing to start.
Yeah. That's because you were showing us your tiny microphone. We were so overawed by it. We had 7 minutes of silence. Just like now.
Just your problem.
Terry Byfield would be very happy.
Spoilers. Stop spoiling the surprise.
Every match day, we're watching you.
Right.
Cheers, Tel.
Cheers, Tel. Straight into Guehi. What do you reckon?
I think that you could have had a spinny wheel of topics today. We could have just we could have had about probably 12 different things to talk about. You could have just spun it. There's a lot.
Right. Okay. First, I'm gonna start off with a message from Carl. And he said, "I've only heard part of the story, so unfortunately I haven't got more than that." But he said he's been told there's no falling out between Steve and Ollie, but they had a very frank conversation. The latter is very clear, even on the day, that if Palace are going to progress and build, they have to have a ready-made replacement. Igor was never thought to be Guehi's replacement. Deal looked almost impossible when Akanji said no on Friday morning, which would have made sense, right? Akanji, Akanji is a replacement, an older one, albeit, but no doubt that he's a great centre back. Steve kept progressing it on the day in the belief that we'd get Gomez, and that would basically be it. He'll come the other way on loan. Guehi would go there, and then that would mean that we'd have a replacement as well. And that didn't happen, but he's unsure if that was because of Liverpool blocking it or Gomez not wanting to join. So that's partly of where we're at with Guehi. All I know, based on last summer's transfer window, 2 Guehi own goals against Liverpool incoming this season. It's still mad that happened.
Irregular betting patterns.
Yeah. Before we get into the details of around Guehi, it's the whole hypocrisy of Liverpool fans that's had me crying with laughter the whole way through yesterday. The way that they referred to Trent, the way they treated him for wanting to leave, and then suggesting that Guehi should do the complete opposite at Palace to go to Liverpool was very amusing. But Hesketh certainly a very large sense of entitlement in Liverpool fans around this.
Yeah, massively. I tend not to give a shit really what fans of other teams think about Palace, but it's hard to ignore over the last, not even 24 or 48 hours, the whole summer really, when it was just assumed he would end up going there. And like you say, though, we're holding him hostage, and who do we think we are, and we're shooting ourselves in the foot. But, even if you look at their dealings, if they're having a go at us saying, well, you should have you had all this time to have a ready-made replacement brought in, which is true. I don't know why Liverpool then had sold Gerald Quansah without having bought Marc Guehi in. So if they're going to give us shit, then they shouldn't be selling their centre-halves when they don't have a centre-half brought in. Obviously, I'm not going to say that to any Liverpool fan because I can't be bothered with whatever feedback I get from that. But yeah, it is entitlement. And the one that made me laugh the most, some random Liverpool fan on Twitter who said, because Palace are media darlings, they won't get the shit that they should be getting for what they've done to Guehi. What can you say? I couldn't believe what I was reading. The fact that a Liverpool fan is calling Palace media darlings is enough on its own. But then to add that what we've done to Marc Guehi, it's just fuck off.
I think it boils down to all the discourse around have we mistreated him, all that all boils down to that Liverpool came knocking too late. It's simple as that, isn't it? If I know they've done it to try and force our hand because Parish has quite publicly on several occasions said, "Listen, we can't afford to, lose a player of his quality for nothing." And I totally sympathise with that. There's the football side of it, and yes, look, the bottom line is I'm chuffed Marc Guehi, he's here for another year. That's where the story should stop almost. But you can see the financial woes, of letting him go for free. But ultimately, if Liverpool really wanted him, they could have bid even a week prior, and then we would have had a suitable time to sort out a replacement, maybe go back in for Diamonde, and then let Marc go. But they've left it too late. So Liverpool fans need to look at their own club if they're really upset about why they haven't got him. It's because they've chanced their arm, they've tried to take the piss, and we've quite rightly backed the manager and said, well, it's too late. Certain people have fallen through. We can't let him go, which is the right decision.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've had a question in saying what's the PSR impact of him not going in terms of losing out on circa 28 mil, I guess. After I'm not sure. It's like 20% of profit to Chelsea. So would that actually make it more like 4 million? Because I assume, what did we buy him for? We pay 18 for him?
Yeah. So
18 off of 35 and then 20% off of that. Probably about 4 and a bit million.
3.5-ish. Yeah.
So whatever it is, you've got, so let's just say 30 million is what we're missing out on. Well, it could have been, and probably was difficult to get rid of Edouard this summer. Edouard going is a 5 million transfer fee and almost 5 million in wages as well for that last year. He was on 90 grand a week.
Yeah.
So I think that's 4.7 million. So yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So that's that taken off. And then on top of that, much like the season before, you've got what's the value of winning something, because our chances of winning something are greatly increased with having Marc Guehi in that back three.
Yeah.
Than it is without having him there. So we was talking about it earlier. It's more like if you view it as a calculated risk to say, with Marc Guehi in the team, we think we might win another trophy, whether that be the Conference League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, or all of them. I don't see why we don't win all of them, to be honest. Just take them all down. Yeah.
What is it? $1 million for a league place as well? Is that what?
A bit more than that, yeah.
A bit more than that, What? Let's say we go from the lofty heights of 12th to 8th. That's another 5 million in the coffers. And again, the better players you got, the better chance you got of winning things and finishing higher in leagues. So yeah, I'd love to see a Palace fan that's sort of licking their wounds, thinking, "Fuck me, I can't believe we didn't sell him. We really needed the money." No, no Palace fan should be thinking that. I get the business worry for the people that got to make the books balance, but ultimately, it's great that he's here, and he's not the sort of player that's going to let it affect him. He's been such a pro. Even the interviews after he scored the goal, people trying to get him to speculate on his future and this, and he he's a consummate pro, and he's still young. He's not even anywhere near 30. So he'll get a bigger move. He'll have probably a bigger choice of clubs. I think it's best for all concerned.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. He's in a position now where in January he can start talking to clubs from abroad. If he doesn't go to them in the summer, he'll have his pick of, I'm sure, a lot of elite football clubs because he's a sensational player. He'll get a big signing on fee, all the rest of it. And I think it doesn't hinder him much. It's a World Cup year, so he's not going to down tools, I wouldn't have thought. He'll want to do as well as he can. And like you said, Albert, he's the most model professional, we've seen in ages, ever, maybe at Palace. So I'm glad if it came down to Ollie sticking his boots in the mud and saying, we're not fucking selling him. I'm glad that that's what he did. Because I think it was necessary. And if it means, we get a trophy at the end of the season or more, fucking who's going to give a shit as a fan about 35 million or not? It's not my money. I don't have to balance the books. Glasner probably doesn't give a shit about balancing the books. He's paid to win games of football. And the way that we do that and give ourselves a better chance is having Marc Guehi in the team, innit?
Yeah, definitely.
You won't be saying that when your season tickets doubled.
That's where the 35 million's going.
You lot wanted to keep Guehi. Your season ticket's now 1,500 quid a year. But look, is there worry here, though, Albert, that it's completely frayed the relationship between Parish and Glasner? Or is it just more signs that they can have that sort of, that functional tension that Parish always talks about, that, you can have frank conversations with each other, but it's constructive. And at the end of the day, you're all trying to do the best thing. You're all trying to achieve the best thing for Crystal Palace Football Club.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've not been in the room with either of them, let alone when they're having a Barney potentially about whether Marc Guehi gets sold or not. But Parish has to look at the overall picture. I get it. It must be more difficult for him because he's also a fan of the club. Rightly or wrongly. Glasner, whilst obviously is the manager and wants the best for the team. It sounds awful, sounds callous, but Glasner probably won't care about the long-term financial situation at Crystal Palace FC. In 12 months' time, we're probably the realists amongst us in the Palace sort of contingency probably don't expect Glasner to be in a year's time, So, Glasner can't worry too much about the significant long-term future of the club, because I imagine he values his stock as going elsewhere. And again, quite rightly, good for him. So yeah, I think ultimately, I think it's a good thing. If Parish had sanctioned the move without a replacement coming in, I mean, I used a really strong word yesterday to be like, if he does that, and then you sort of, you step back and you think, no, he's a fan. He knows that keeping Glasner on side for the next 12 months is so important for the short-term future of the club. It's, money can be moved around. You can pull other levers financially and kick that can down the road. What you can't put a Band-Aid over is significantly weakening your team, and it's a team that's built from the back up, So, if they've had a few curse words about it, that's ultimately business and it's work. It's resolved. We've got Marc Guehi. We've signed the 5 players that have been added to the squad. and we move on. You know, we can all start now looking forward to those European fixtures that we've all jumped on to book travel and hotel for.
Yeah, we're going to get into that later. First up, let's talk about the window and how it's ended up materialising with the new signings that have come in. We obviously got Jeremy Pino before Villa in time to play. Hard not to be excited, Hesketh, after that cameo against Villa.
Very hard not to be excited. I was, when we confirmed it, I was in the Munch Museum in Oslo trying to be cultured and randomly bumping into an ex-boss of mine who is a Palace fan, so that makes it a little less weird, but also to bump into on the fourth floor of an art gallery in Oslo. Not what I expected. But I was trying hard to be cultured, but then also read about Pino to know exactly what sort of player he is and people's reactions and stuff. And it all sounded great before I'd even seen him play. But in the 20-odd minutes that it came on against Villa that he played, fucking hell, I think he's going to be fun to watch. You know, quick passes look great, his movement looks good. That run where, even though he's about 5'2", and he held off half their team and then did a backheel pass to Lerma. I mean, even the most miserable of people can't watch that and be like, I think he's going to be quite good. So yeah, and to get it for 21 million, when you know you're seeing players like Hutchinson go to Forest for nearly 40, I think that's going to be an absolute steal if he carries on the way we think he is.
Yeah, definitely. I was very impressed. Very strong for someone so small. Good low centre of gravity. Good on the ball. Good vision. Good tenacity. Yeah, I like it. A lot to like. Then we've signed Convo, as I'm reliably informed by a resident Frenchie, that's how you say it.
Very good.
He's no longer to lose. He's come to Palace to win. So
Bosch.
Yeah.
Le Bosch.
And your most favourite name player ever, Hesketh?
Yeah, Kristantas Uche. I don't care what kind of footballer is. He's called Kristantas. I'm 100% in and fully behind him for the entirety of his contract from name alone. That's it.
Ooch, man, ooch. There's an ooch loose about this hoose. And I assume we've all seen them play prior to joining Palace. Yeah. My wife loves it when I spend my Sunday afternoons watching Getafe at home against Las Palmas. No.
I've had to stop myself from watching YouTube compilations of players before they sign. Because the last couple of years I've started to do it and I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Imagine how good he'll be in Glasnow's system. And then they don't sign. So I'm like,
well, as I was saying on the Spanish football podcast that I do on the side, you know, I think he'd be a great fit for the Glasnow ball.
Oh, I can't remember who were the funny named ones from back in the day.
Muy
Boubacar
bien.
Diarra.
I mean, muy bien.
Was it Boubacar? What was his name? The Fiorentina. Was he? No,
Boubacar Kamara.
Boubacar Kamara. Yeah, I've got his YouTube highlights on favourites. They're in the favourite playlist.
No, it's not Boubacar Kamara. Hang on. He plays for Villa, doesn't he? Who does... Oh, I'm getting confused. Talk amongst yourselves.
Albert, who was your favourite one from back in the day?
What, that we never signed?
Yeah.
Weren't we heavily linked with Ansu Fati at one point?
No. It was prior to Ansu Fati. And his name was...
Oh, Botti Biaby.
Botti Biaby.
Botti Biaby. To be or to Botti Biaby? That is the question. And it turns out we didn't. So
I don't know where he is now. You've got it, haven't you, Hesketh?
I don't know about Biaby, But
I'll give me a second.
the Fiorentina guy was Kuma Babacar. So Babacar Kuma, who is still only 32. I mean, the amount of times we were linked to him, I thought he'd be about 50. He's currently playing for a Turkish club called Boluspor. Who
I accidentally typed in booty B. I think that's something completely different.
so his Turkish club are in the second division, so he's not really hit the heights of a giddy Tuesday night in Selhurst Park. But
Right. But in terms of how do you feel about the window, Hesketh?
pretty good. I think I probably would have liked a couple more players in. And it sounds like we were working on some more that didn't happen. Some of which I wouldn't have been keen on, some of which I would have. But I think we've addressed certain areas we needed to. You know, Sosa came in early as a left-sided fullback, wing-back, which we needed. I think Benitez is a pretty good backup goalie. Probably won't play huge amounts anyway. Pino looks great, as we said. I think getting Convo in for the future, you know, we might see him in the cup games, maybe in Conference League. You know, we've already got, if he ever comes back fully fit, we've got Riyad, who's still pretty young. So those two together seem good for the future. And then Uche can play up front, can play as a 10, has played box-to-box midfielder, I think. So there's a good bit of versatility there. I think maybe we probably would have liked to get a few more players out, like Jez. And a name that I haven't read for the entire summer, because I think everyone has forgotten he's alive, Ahamada. I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know if he's still around. I think overall,
just following Salma Hayek around France still, probably.
Fair enough. But yeah, I think overall, and keeping Guehi, can't really complain too much about that. Obviously, I think the Guehi situation will sort of cloud a lot of it, because that's what people remember about the deadline day stuff. But we've bought in good players, mostly young players, for not loads of money. And all right, we lost Eze, but I think much like when we got rid of Elise, the hope is getting Uche and Pino in can sort of cover that and give us a bit of something different. So I'm pretty happy. 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Is the squad stronger or weaker as we sit here today?
It's hard to say really until I see Uche play.
Okay.
Because I'm very impressed with Pino. You don't know if he can match the outputs of Eze. I would suggest maybe yes, given what I saw at Villa. But we also, I think at this point, Villa call us daddy. I don't know what else they can call us, really. So it's easy enough to show it against Villa. So we'll have to see how that goes. And yeah, again, see how Uche goes. And we're going to get to see them because Sarr's out. So we're gonna see them play. It feels instinctively, it feels like we're a bit stronger because we've got a bit more depth. We've got a bit more versatility in there. Adding another centre back is great, considering the three we've got. Hopefully, touch wood, stay fit for the whole season, but they will need rests at points. Mm-hmm. So to add some depth there is good. Yeah, I'd say Riyad hopefully by the end of the year back in, Decore back in. I feel like we're stronger.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a big if because they've been out for a while. But if Riyad and Decore can come back, and then obviously Nketiah comes back a bit sooner, with those three as well to the squad, I think the squad's looking all right. I think we're marginally stronger, even though it might not feel like it immediately.
And of course, we've definitely lost an X factor in Ebbs. We'll just have to see if it can be replaced by any of the ones who've come in. So, but in terms of the window as a spectacle, it was probably a bit of an all-timer, to be honest, particularly the last day when, at one point it looked like we was replacing our first ever cup-winning captain with a Brighton reject. The manager was going to walk, and we were going to sign a man who posted a meme of a soldier pointing a gun at a baby. So it sounded ideal, really. Everything was very exciting. And weirdly, it ends with Igor going to West Ham and becoming a Palace hero. Because the idea is that him not signing for Palace has meant that Guehi stayed. But probably doesn't quite work out that way. Crazy, crazy day. And it doesn't really, you've got all these people now, like Fabrizio Romano is the main one of them, but there's loads of them because there's a career in it, obviously, to be had. But this whole, I understand.
Oh, I hate that so much.
They might as well just write down, I've decided to make up that. Like, that's how I'm going to read that from now on. I've just had enough of it. These guys are all fucking chancers.
Yeah.
And none more so. I'm sorry to say, Ed Aarons it's just been a fucking disgrace in the last few days. Like, to just straight come out today and say that Guehi is going to release a statement for it then to be found out to be completely untrue is like, yeah. Maybe the Texter was too busy at a City ground giving his players to Marinakis. So when Ed Aarons phoned in for contact, it was a bit like, John, what you got for me? And he's just told him some bullshit. I don't know.
I just think, like, obviously you take a lot of that stuff like Romano and all that, obviously with a pinch of salt, but, and this is maybe going away from topic a bit, but like the desire to be first to say something or to have an exclusive or to get something outrageous, to get interactions and clicks and all that, I just hate it. Like, I think the reason why in this sort of pool of people that Ornstein guy is looked at pretty favourably is because he only tends to put stuff out when it's happened or just about to happen. And I would just rather people got information and put out interesting information or an interesting story or accurate information rather than the sensational, I got there first. Like, who gives a shit? I know it's not my job, and I'm sure that their brief is get interactions because clicks are what we need or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Writing, I understand, is annoying. I just find it annoying. And, if you go back and look at tweets and all that from journalists saying definitively this, that, or the other, and it just doesn't happen a lot of the time. It's just, it's pretty tiring. That being said, I was on Twitter quite a lot yesterday, breaking my own rule of fucking ignoring Twitter. So that one's on me. Sorry,
the thing that I still find just absolutely incredulous is that you can get, 3 games into the season and you still don't know essentially what squad you're going to have for the remainder of the season. The fact that the transfer window isn't slamming shut, as they say, before the first ball's been kicked is fucking mental. Managers must hate it. I can imagine chairman hating it. Like that, I really think if you're doing a transfer window, it all has to be resolved before the season starts. I think it's fucking madness.
Yeah, I agree.
Or just not have a transfer window. Just go back to the old days. It's open at all times.
No, I couldn't do that. No, I wouldn't like that. Because you would just be every day. You'd be thinking, who's leaving? Who's leaving tomorrow?
Oh, there's a statement coming out. Fucking hell, not another one.
I've only recently, I try and have no notifications on 99% of the apps on my phone. I turn all notifications off. But because of obviously trying to keep abreast of ticket news and conference league fixtures, I've turned on notifications on the Palace app, and fuck me, I'll be turning them off pronto. Now we know where the conference league games are and all that shit. Well, mind you, tickets still aren't coming out yet, are they? like every time something comes up, you're like, oh, and you look and it's coach travel available to go to Wolverhampton. It's like, no, fuck, don't want that. It's all too much.
All too much. What was your favourite rumour of the transfer window? Mine was particularly the links that we would link with Pavlovic basically the whole window from Milan. Still wouldn't mind getting him in the future. Big fan of his. And I do see him play because I do watch AC Milan play, so I know that he's good. But the rumour when it was just like, Palace have also gone to Milan, well, what about Tomori? Just highly, well, we can't have that one. Can we have that? Can we have that one, please?
Just go down the list.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like
twice if you'll sell us Tomori.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
But like the stupidness of that as well is like Milan have got 4 centre backs. It's like why are they going to sell their best centre back?
Yeah.
With no time to replace him, which is the same scenario that everyone's in this case on the last day. It's just not going to happen. And like I said on Twitter, unless Pavlovic threw a wobbly, and in which case he's not a Palace type player if he's going to throw a wobbly to get himself out of the club. So there's just no way that was ever going to happen, which is a shame. But yeah, that was my favourite from me. Well, can we have him then? Great rumour. And then finally, some people on Twitter was asking, on Instagram were asking, have we missed out on anyone? Well publicised. Conor Gallagher was interested, but Glasner preferred Baumgarten from Leipzig, and Baumgarten didn't prefer Crystal Palace, so the work went in there instead of into Gallagher, and we sort of ended up missing out on Gallagher as a result by not really pursuing him when he was interested, which I think, I mean, trust Glasner and all that. He knows best and whatever. He knows what he wants, but I feel a little bit gutted with that one.
Yeah, that would have been good. I mean, I think Baumgarten dealings not helped by Spurs buying Simmons off Leipzig for 60 million. But Gallagher would have been good. I think it would have given everyone a lift just because everyone at Palace already likes him and knows what he can do, except for Albert, who's shaking his head.
After that fucking Chelsea performance.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, well, that is fair. That's completely fair. But again, the versatility that he would have been able to offer playing, again, a bit like Kamada can or Uche can, as you've said, is to be able to play in the centre midfield role or play further up the field. Frees up Lerma as well to be permanent centre-back cover. So it just adds so much depth to the team. But then maybe it's also, I don't know how, with a complete lack of money coming in on the Guehi front now, maybe we can't spend 40 million on Gallagher. Don't get
me wrong. I'd have loved it if he'd have come, but he didn't. So he's still a Chelsea slag.
Yeah, fine. I do wonder. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about this, but the Uche deal was a loan with a mandatory fee next summer. Do you think that is because we did the deal too late and signed it off where we had to just make it a loan now, or do we not have the money that we can spend this year, or do you think we're just doing it just to push it down the line?
Yeah, it's got to be something to do with accounting of some kind.
I've got to say, I've never seen so many deals, and maybe it's sort of confirmation bias. I've not seen so many loan options with obligations to buy mentioned as I have over the last fucking 72 hours. So it does seem like it's a thing that people are just doing it and kicking, like you say, kicking a financial can down the road. And I mean, fucking Villa's, we'll get onto Villa about the game, but Villa's PSR woes of, okay, you sell that and then we can, you know what I mean? It just sounds like a fucking nightmare for everyone.
Yeah,
it does. Before we get into it, we will talk Fredrikstad. So where to start here? Well, James has written into Instagram. He said, "Is it acceptable to wear a wonderful Fredrikstad bucket hat at Selhurst?" It depends. I feel like it depends if he stole it from a Fredrikstad fan and we're going to hang it from the top of the home but that aside, you had a dream, Albert, a bit like Martin Luther King, but I feel like not quite the same.
Well, no, so different. I mean, we're just going back to Fredrikstad bucket hat. I only noticed when I was watching the second leg on my iPad in Spain last week that the Fredrikstad have literally got the Death Star from Star Wars on their flag. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Which was slightly worrying. No, but I just thought I didn't air it at the time because I had the dream the night before the game. I'm obviously harbouring some sort of UEFA based bitterness or general resentment because I had a dream that the tie finished 2-2, and instead of going to extra time or penalties, and it was news to me at the time in the dream, is that the tie would be decided by players' ratings.
Oh no!
Right, and no word of a lie. And in my dream, I was watching it on TV, and it was almost like revealed, like fucking Family Fortune,
like Eurovision or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so it was out of 10. Right, so players were rated out of 10. And
this is Garth Crooks calling.
Yeah. And they revealed the Palace ratings first, and we were like really, really fucking like, okay, that's decent. And then they were revealing like the Fredrikstad players, and it was like the goalkeeper 4, the left back 2, and it was like, oh fucking hell, we've shit this. But the last Fredrikstad player was revealed with a score of 83, which sits in their favour, and we got eliminated. And I was being like, in my dream, I was fucking fuming. Fucking hell, like proper anxiety / UEFA are cunts. Like
Marinakis has entered the Krug into your dream.
I was livid. 83. I was like, is that 10? Is that 10?
Lovely. That's an excellent dream.
Funny.
It was, and like I said, I didn't want to air it just because, like I said, I woke up in the morning, I was like, I've had a fucking mad dream. I'm not going to say it just in case we do fucking lose. Legitimately, not because of some weird bent scoring system that's going to get introduced at the 11th hour.
From connecting the real world to the digital world to making them one. Your way to a sustainable digital enterprise. Transform the everyday with Siemens.
Okay. Sorry, I like you. I've turned notifications on when Palace put out tweets because of the transfer window, and Red and Blue Hearts just came through, but it was underneath a video of Zaha signing Palace shirts at a Charlotte pre-match warm-up up the Wilf. So, with Fredrikstad, obviously, if you may or may not have noticed, we are doing a little mini-series for the away European games this season called the Conference League Chronicles. Hesketh, we lost your interview. On the lovely walk up the riverside. Yeah, such a shame. Where, as I said, that you predicted 3-0 Palace, and I think I said 0-0.
Besmirching of my name. First of all, I just want to say that I presented the pod last week and got glowing reviews, and then all of a sudden, my fuck you, my interview from Fredrikstad goes missing. This is bullshit for a start. Certainly did not predict a 3-0, as anyone who listens to this show knows me. I think I said I'd take a draw, although I did think we'd win, but I said I'd take a draw. And thankfully, we got a draw.
No, well done on your episode last week, Albert. It is the second most listened to Winging episode ever. So
put your little microphone down.
Sorry, I lost you.
Nowhere to be seen.
Terrible line. It's a terrible line.
Yeah, it's just again, it just shows how mad people go for transfers, right? Everyone's consuming everything in and around transfer window. So yeah, so thank you to everyone who listened. Come back, listen to some more. But yes, so you can listen to the Coppersley Chronicles. They will be around every away game, and if you're out there at any of the games, I'll be at all three. And you see me interviewing people, come get interviewed if you want, and if you're good enough, you make it.
Not you, Hesketh.
Just hold the mic closer to your mouth, or something like that. But no, I enjoyed doing that. Although I did rock up into Fredrikstad, and the first thing I walked into was Hesketh saying,
Sorry.
"There's been Palace fans over there singing Stop the Boats," which is
not great.
Brilliant. Not great. I mean, look, like people have views on things, right? And whatever your views are on things, are your views on things. I might disagree with them and think they're right or think they're wrong. I think people chanting that are abhorrent, to be honest. But that's my opinion, and you're allowed to have your opinion, whatever. But it's Palace in Europe for the first time ever. Like, fucking come and support Palace. Like, what are you doing?
For what it's worth, I also find it abhorrent, just in case that wasn't clear. But yeah, I mean, at the time it happened, we, the group that I was with, we were all sat outside having a beer. The atmosphere was really good. Spoke to some Fredrikstad fans. And I think one of the things that I said on the walk to the ground in the now lost interview was I had the most pleasant banter from a Fredrikstad fan of all time. I was just sat down having a beer and he tapped me on the shoulder and leaned in and went, "Just so you know, you're going to lose." And I looked at him and he went, "Okay, bye," and just walked off. Little did he know, I agreed. So, But yeah, other than that chanting, which I'm not a fan of, everything else was great. Like walking around Fredrikstad, chatting to Palace fans, even in the hotel. I think 90% of the hotel I was staying in was Palace. Shout out to Adam as well, who caught me off guard when we were queuing up to check in, and he said, "Are you off the podcast?" And I think for a second I didn't know what he was talking about, so he probably thought I was an idiot.
Can I just ask your hotel that was full of 90% Palace fans? Did the Stop the Boats people have a problem with that?
Not a fan of hotels, are they?
There's a hotel there full of bloody foreigners.
Yeah, I mean, it was the game was crap, but the atmosphere was good. I thought the atmosphere after the game in the town was good. So it was glad that wasn't the one and only European away game that we're going to do. Looking forward to the rest.
Yeah, got a little bit. I mean, the end of that game, old Palace would have gone into extra time and then lost there. This new Palace meant that the guy got a bit too much on his shot and it just missed the top corner. But to have about 4 chances to score, only for them to break and nearly level the tie, was, I think everyone was standing in the away end, and I'd say a good 2/3 fell into their seat when that shot went over.
And do you know what? After the game, I can't remember who I said it to, but I was like, can you imagine if a centre-half gets the ball there and curls it into the top corner? And as you were talking about it, I've just thought, a couple of days later, that's exactly what Marc Guehi did.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty glad it was that way round, to be honest.
No, it was brilliant. I had a brilliant trip. I mean, did not enjoy paying 51 quid for 4 pints of Carlsberg in the hotel lobby.
How was where I bumped into you in my hotel lobby?
Yeah.
Are we sure they hate to see it leave? Those prices, I'm going to be letting it fucking go.
How was your...
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, how was your mammoth trip home?
Oh, the whole trip was mammoth, really. Obviously, if you followed on social, I even forgot my fucking passport. Didn't take it to Cornwall with me, so I had to reroute on the way home and go back via my freaking house to get it. Or no, technically, my dad picked it up for me and then got it from him. But yeah, that was a bit of a disaster, but it didn't really impact me too much because I had enough time to kill. The trip back was just wigging out, really. 2:30 in the morning, got on a bus. They got me into Oslo, had a few hours to hang around Oslo airport, flew back into London, and then, getting the train back to Bodmin. And then my missus had been on, all my mates who were in Cornwall, and my missus had been on the piss all day. So I had to get a taxi, another £55 cost added sort of thing for like a 10-minute journey.
He's got the arse because they had a nice time about it. No, he's fucked off to the football. He's come back and what do you mean? Oh yeah, no fine. I'll get a taxi if you're having a nice time.
Do you know what was added extra amusement to the taxi? Is that his name was Nigel.
Yes.
Big Nige. So it was fine. But the worst was we drove back the next day. I went straight. I went to Cornwall so I could assist with the drive back. And then last weekend before school starts, didn't leave at 6 a.m. or anything like that. And it took 10.5 hours to get back. Brutal.
Yikes.
And then I come back and I produced the Conference League Chronicles for you all.
Medals on its way.
Indeed. So then obviously...
It's just a tiny microphone on a chain.
That leads to the draw being made for the group stages of the Conference League. Some fun stuff in and around that. Now, I've already been accused online of people misunderstanding and saying that I'm taking the European tour for granted and, I should just enjoy it. But Strasbourg and Dublin is a little bit underwhelming. I wanted something like Armenia. Wanted to get slapped around in Warsaw by Legia fans.
Well, I was going to... a mate of mine, Malcolm, was saying when we were sat outside and having a drink after the game in Fredrikstad, he was like, I want to go Armenia. And then I looked where Armenia was on a map, and I'm good. And I think someone said this might be completely wrong because I wasn't pissed because it was too expensive to get pissed, to be honest. But someone was like, it's in a disputed territory. And I was like, you know what? Strasbourg sounds lovely.
It does. Now, we're all booked up for all three? Or are you... Yeah.
I'm not booked for Dublin yet because it's me and Vanessa's anniversary. But on Vanessa's suggestion, we're going to go to Dublin for longer.
Yes.
So we'll be there.
Me and the missus are going to do the same, I think.
Nice.
We're going to go on the Wednesday and stay to the Sunday, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
But I'll be there. Albert, all three?
Yeah. All three.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had all that was kicking off whilst I was trying to get on my plane back home from Spain. So I'm on fucking my phone with limited battery whilst WhatsApping my brother, who, bless him, gets a bit flustered at the best of times. He's like, what's up? Lublin? Yeah, not Dublin or Lublin? Is that a typo? No, two separate cities. What date? Yeah, it's madness. And I'd stayed up till 2 a.m. prior, block reserving hotels in multiple cities on multiple weeks. The first half an hour of which, because I was a little bit pissed, was booking hotels in Alkmaar in Holland, and then having the realization at 1:45 in the morning, it's like, that's a fucking home fixture. Don't need hotels there. Yeah. But yeah, booked up for all three. Just got to get the tickets now. But we're in. Nice.
Yeah, I think we're Euro starring it to and from Strasbourg, which is nice.
Yeah, same.
Chilly there.
Yes.
Chilly there.
Is Chilly there?
Chilly is there. Yeah. I saw a great tweet where it was the Chelsea owner, and they've just flipped it so they're next to each other. It's like, do you want to sign Ben Chilwell? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Excellent work. Wonder how those look on the accounting pages. Ridiculous. Throw Palace out here.
Kick Palace out.
Yeah, why not? Rules are rules. Rules are rules. Don't you know?
He's 28 until he's 29.
No, he's not finished. That's cups, mate. Cups, what are they called? I don't know. But the fucking draw itself, with all that's gone on, with all that goes on with UEFA and everyone thinking they're corrupt at the best of times, they introduced. Well, apparently they did it last year, although I don't know how that was because they were saying that Jurgen Klinsmann was pushing the button for the first time. But going to a digital draw and then launching your new digital draw with a display of sleight of hand. You're just like, really? You just right in front of us. You're basically saying we can do whatever we want. Look at my eyes, not into my eyes. Look at around my eyes. So it's just like I just couldn't.
I also enjoyed one of the guys. I don't know who he was. One of the UEFA guys saying something about you've earned the right to be here. Well, have we?
Yes. Yeah. Parish and Marinakis were only a couple of rows apart, but yeah. I'm sure they had a very friendly conversation with each other, both there and at Selhurst, where apparently Marinakis did turn up but didn't come out into the seats. But apparently he was there. Yeah. Indeed.
They are quite small.
The main stand, notoriously no leg room. Or belly room, I don't know. Oh no, I don't like slagging people off for their appearance, but I'll make an exception for him. You've brought it yourself, Marinakis.
Mr. Marinakis is not a fat cunt.
He's definitely not.
He's not.
I think, as the banner said.
Yeah, he's not. He's not into that sort of thing. Okay, right. Where are we on time? Blumenau. Villa. Let's touch on Villa. Done them again. I think I even heard on the TV the fans singing, "It's happened again." Very amusing. Fair fucks to anyone who was in Norway and went to that. Incredible effort, really.
Yeah, brilliant.
7 p.m. in Birmingham on a Sunday is just bullshit.
Get a life.
What's wrong with you?
I'm joking.
But no, it was, I mean, particularly the first half, what an incredible performance. Just Wharton, Kamada and Hughes were just incredible.
Yeah.
Just so fluid. The way we just had them on toast. We just pulling them from one side of the pitch to the other, and then Hughes kept finding Munoz for fun in acres of space down the right with brilliant crossfield balls. It was just so sexy to watch. Really, really impressed. But there's a world in which very early on in that game, Villa are down to 9 men, let alone 10, when Matty Cash goes in recklessly, as VAR decided, on Kamada. I think it's probably right. I think it's a very dark yellow. But I don't think it's quite enough for a red.
An orange.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to see the estate agent get sent off, I do think that's
Matty Cash in the attic.
Hey, stairs up to the bedrooms. Oh no, that's the other one. I did think a yellow was. I'd be upset if that was one of our players and they got a red, which they definitely would have.
But of course, if he sent him off for it, there's no way VAR would have overturned it. I think.
Yeah,
no,
one of those ones, isn't it? But it was a bit rough, and then it's also when you get to the point where Mateta scores a penalty and gets the same punishment for kicking the corner flag as Matty Cash does for nearly snapping Kamada's ankle into.
Exactly.
That pissed me off. I guess the booking was because he kicked it out, right?
Yeah, but that's he can't help that.
Yeah, it's not his fault. Get better corner flags, man.
If he kicked it and it got into the crowd and hit someone on the head, then okay. But,
I hate the yellow card. You know when players take their shirts off and get booked? Why the fuck's that a yellow card? Just they're celebrating a goal, which is the point of football. So I hate that anyway. But yeah, for him to get booked for kicking the corner flag and being the same level of punishment as Matty Cash doing that to Daichi, I don't like it.
But it's also, he's not kicked the corner flag for every goal he scored for Palace in the Premier League. But what was that? He's 40 something goal for Palace. More than that, 50. Is he pushing 50 goals for Palace now? He's kicked the corner flag probably 35 times now. And then all of a sudden, it's a booking because they've got flimsy corner flags. So stupid.
Some bad refereeing across the board this weekend, I'd say.
But oh god, it's, the whole new thing on social media now is my head's on Mars or my head's on another planet, whatever. And the feed was just filled with that. It was like everyone was like, if I was a Fulham fan right now, my head would be on another planet. In a Fulham Chelsea game as well, in like a derby match, to be on the end of those calls, I would have been fuming. Yeah. So Chelsea just getting more VAR calls in their favour. And did anyone check who it was on VAR? Oh, it was the same guy that disallowed Eze's free kick.
Was it?
That disallowed Fulham's goal. Yeah. He's since been taken off of VAR duty for whatever that works out by. But, yeah.
It's funny because I'm sure I saw a few Liverpool players within 1 metre of the Arsenal wall after that. Thunderbars of a free kick went in.
But again, it's just all the same. That if you disallow that free kick for an Arsenal, for a player being 1 metre in, that's just against football.
Yeah,
exactly. No, I'm not saying it should. I'm not saying it should be.
Yeah.
Don't want to see that ruled off. It's one of the best free kicks you ever see. It's an unbelievable goal. But fuck me, like, well, what's the difference? Like, you know.
Yeah.
But Eze's Arsenal now, so I don't care.
Don't care. I also have an argument for the Villa keeper being sent off. He is not playing the fucking ball there.
Marco
when he gets rounded, Bizot. Kamada rounds him. You've got to be playing the ball, right, to not have the double jeopardy. As long as you've attempted to play the ball, you can't get sent off and a penalty, right? That's the rule. Bizot's leg comes out way after the ball has gone to hack down Kamada. So how the fuck is he playing the ball? I don't know, but whatever. He was shit anyway. So
Marco
Bizot.
Yeah, I did enjoy it in the build up to the game when they were trying to get news out of their manager Emery on Emi Martinez, and he's just saying Bizot.
I like that. I thought that was great.
That's what I was just doing.
Is that what you used this doing? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's late, mate. It's late.
You have to hold your little microphone closer to your mouth, otherwise we can't hear you.
Listen, again, it went down way better on the Spanish football podcast. Emery, innit? Spanish. So
good evening. Welcome to. What would you call your Spanish football podcast?
I just don't have that answer right now.
Paella in the sky.
No, but it does remind me we were in the swimming pool in Spain last week, and Arthur, my eldest, sort of was swimming quite vigorously and kind of knocked a Spanish person, and we were like, we said, Arthur, be careful, and he just looked back and went sorry, like thinking that was just if he rolled the R's, then that would basically be a Spanish apology. It's like
and then got out the pool, grabbed his St. George's flag towel and dried off.
Yeah.
Nice. Somewhat shockingly, Villa almost get back into the game. Big long ball over the top. Watkins gets away with his pace, but Dino, another face save, loves it. Just loves balls slamming into his face. Sorry, but brilliant save for Dino. Sorry. But yeah, just really loved that first half. thought the team were absolutely brilliant. Defended really, really well. Midfielders excellent. And getting the second half, I knew that they were going to come out strong. We obviously had the Fredrikstad game. Pretty much all those players played most of that game. We were probably going to be a little bit tired. They came out well. We weathered it. And then Marc Guehi just fucking... I mean, Mateta after the game being like, he doesn't even do this in training was unreal content. But what a finish.
Peach. That's it, innit? Peach.
I want to see a sort of side-by-side with Dwight Gale's winner at that same end from the promotion, with the season after promotion. Yeah. Lovely finish.
Talking to Mateta, did you see it? They gave Mateta the Man of the Match award to give to Marc Guehi, and they gave it to him and Saar, and Mateta was very insistent that he would deliver it. And then about 10 minutes later, Marc Guehi's out, and they've somehow got the award back. Yeah, no, it's good. Great performance. You know, shame about you know, if it's true about Wharton and who else got injured? Saar. Who ironically, who ironically pretended to be injured and now is actually fucking injured. But you know, it's a great first win of the season. So
a bit like you pretend not to be a Watford fan, but actually are. But you know what was even more amazing about the Man of the Match award for Guehi was that he got 83 out of 10 in his oh dear. But Guehi does it. Saar, the old classic long throw finally worked. We got it. Long throw, flick on at the near post. Saar's there at the back post. And in nodding in that goal, he has saved me, budgeting wise, in absolutely outrageous scenes. So, in Cornwall watching Forest, for the first time in probably 3 or 4 years, I decide I'm going to bet on Palace. And I don't condone betting, by the way. This is why I stopped doing it, so don't do it. This story might encourage you to do it, but don't. So I stuck 20 quid on Will Hughes to get booked against Forest because I was like, why not? Will Hughes, ex-Derby, they boo he's every touch. He's not going to be able to resist. He's going to get booked. And turned out took him to the 89th minute, but he got there. And then, sitting on the sofa about to watch the Villa game, I remembered, I've got those winnings in my betting account. Let me stick on a little cute accumulator on this. And Mateta to hit the target. Palace to win both halves. Will Hughes to be booked. And your man Saar to score, because he always scores against Watford. £900. But always.
Who's got Watford on the fucking brain now? Hey?
I can't help it. It's that big Watford crest you've got in the back on your wall there. But no, 900 quid, which is basically about what Fredrikstad cost me in total. So replenish the funds. Yeah.
Bosh.
What?
Especially when you factor in that Dynamo Kiev is costing me about 160 quid.
Yeah.
And Strasbourg in total is about 400. To go to Fredrikstad and spend all of that money is astonishing, really. But
I was just going to 85 different modes of transport.
Of course, yeah. Obviously, the whole Cornwall leg of it is what has obliterated that price out of the park, really. But having to get back first thing on Oslo. If I'd had time, I could have made it much cheaper. But it is what it is.
And don't forget all the money that Linda spent in the pub as well.
Yes, outrageous. But no, brilliant. I was beyond chuffed, to say the least.
I bet. Another person celebrating that I tried to highlight, the way that Saar celebrated that goal, where everyone was really worried that he'd been wiped out, and then he just gets up and sprints off, is maybe my favourite celebration for a long time.
Also, incidentally, way more of a booking than kicking the corner flag is. because to have the ref come over, yeah, waving on the trainers, like that's way more of a booking. He's delayed
Quite
loads.
literally simulation.
Yeah. Well, weirdly, he got booked for simulation because his hamstring popped.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's literally on the floor going, "I didn't dive, my hamstring's gone, and it made me fall over." He should be able to get that yellow rescinded, to be fair, but yeah, they don't rescind yellows, do they? So, but on those injuries, you could tell on Wharton's face, and at first I was like, I'm not sure. Well, I was hoping what I was seeing is that he knows this enough that he's going to miss England for this camp. But unfortunately, it does look like it's more of a 8-week job for Wharton.
It's just come out a little bit later this evening that it looks now like it's only going to be 3 weeks.
Oh, well, that is incredible.
Which is a touch.
Don't believe it.
Well, it would be a touch, but we'll see. And then grade 2 hamstring injury, a tear for Sarr, and that can be anywhere between 3 and 8 weeks. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But, you know, for those kind of injuries, this is the best time of year to get it because international breaks galore eat into that recovery time. So might not be the worst thing in the world. And if Wharton is only 3 weeks, that's exceptional news. Because
when's Nketiah due back?
Well, he's due back sooner as well than they expected. They was expecting November initially, but now they're thinking October. So that will be good as well.
Just in time for what's the first game? Europe away.
Kyiv.
Kyiv's the first away, but don't we play? Is Kyiv the very first game? And then, you know, it was good. Like, again, Alkmaar being the team out of pot 1 at home is handy. I think that's a much tougher game if we have to go out there. So, And then, what about, we didn't really talk about the teams we've got at home. So, was it Alkmaar, Larnaca,
and Cups.
Yeah.
They would have been fucking doozies as away games.
Yeah.
Going to fucking Finland and then basically Ayia Napa.
Finland in December. It would have been
Finland.
Yeah. But no, it was good. Fantastic win against Villa. Unbeaten start of the season. Only 3 clubs unbeaten now in the Premier League. Everyone's beaten everyone. 14 games unbeaten.
New record in the top flight.
Is it also like, I think in my time of supporting Palace, I think it levels, Warnock went 14 games unbeaten, I think, in the season perhaps that we lost in the playoff semi-final at Bristol City.
Yeah, rings a bell.
So yeah.
I want to say Dowie nearly got to, I'm sure Dowie got to 12 at one point.
Yeah, what, in the promotion season?
In the promotion season.
Well, he would have had to have done something like that for being in the relegation zone in December and then getting into the playoffs. So, yeah. No, but it's just, it is incredible. And it's a mad time to be supporting Palace for things going so incredibly well on the pitch and then fucking drama off of it, left, right and centre is, just absolute carnage. I'd absolutely love to have Steve Parish on here and be able to talk to him, but I don't know if we can make that happen. Steve, you fancy it, mate? If you're listening, come on. It would fascinate me to have a discussion about it, that's all. Like, get some more balance around it, and ask the questions that journalists don't ask that we'd like asked, those kind of things. But no, anyway, look, thanks for everyone for listening. It's international break now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we can have a week off and recoup from drinking very expensive beers in Fredrikstad and all of that. So, no, great. Thanks to everyone for listening. Do go and listen to the Fredrikstad Europa League. Oh no, Conference League Chronicles. Got to get Europa League out of my mind. Do you know what? Also, I think I've said this before. I went to Utrecht on my stag do, and I was really hoping in the Europa League would get Utrecht. And who got Utrecht away? Fucking Nottingham Forest.
Son of a bitch.
I might go out there and sit in the home end. Fucking cheer them on. Anyway, I'm waffling. Thanks to everyone for listening. Week off next week, back the week after. Until next time, up the palace.